everybody. I'm Tyler.
Hey, I'm Brian. So on this edition, what we want to do is actually talk to you about the importance of inspecting your reference cords and your test leads. One of the things that, if you think about it, these are actually a very important part of the testing process, and it's a piece of expensive gear. And if you don't take care of it, you're going to have a domino effect, right, Tyler?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we see this all the time as a manufacturer of test equipment, that you first start off with your test equipment itself, which is very expensive, and so you want to take care of that. But then there's also, you've got your reference cord.
Yeah.
And a reference cord is not your everyday test lead. This is something that is a premium cable that you've paid a premium amount of money for because it's been polished, it's got the premium apex offset, and all the attributes are just right to make sure that there's as low loss as possible on that connection. So you paid a lot of money for these good quality reference cords, and the last thing that you want to do is treat that like garbage and not check that.
And Tyler, I'll just kind of share a quick story, but I have a colleague that actually was doing some training over in Okinawa, and he was having to do some testing, and one of the end user was basically putting pressure on him to go through and plug his reference cords into the equipment without actually inspecting it. And Tyler, what would have been to happen? Because he was actually very worried that if that happened, he's stuck, right?
You said he's on Okinawa, right?
That's right.
So he's got probably a limited supply of reference cords. And so the last thing that he wants to have happen is he's trapped on an island somewhere with a useless reference cord now.
Right.
And so if he does that, it's going to misrepresent all of his test results after that, because garbage in, garbage out. If you've got a dirty test lead and it's destroyed, you've got bad test results.
Right. And the other thing, too, is also if he doesn't have those right, basically those reference cables, right? He's basically got downtime. So that means basically
he's stuck on an island for a couple of weeks.
And doing nothing, right? So he's not being productive. So if you own a construction company that's actually doing the work, or if you're an end user and you're trying to get your gear turned on and they have bad reference cables, or I've crushed them. It's a bad thing, right?
Exactly. And then on the other side of that, and I think of reference cables. So if you got either one of those that are bad, if you plug that into the equipment side, you can damage the actual source on your equipment. As a manufacturer of test equipment, that's the number one reason that we get returns back for our service department, is simply to address a source that was damaged by plugging in a dirty test lead to it. And then the other side, I think about you plugging that into the test equipment itself. You had the example of in Okinawa was he was concerned about the ports of that device being dirty, but I've got situations as well where we had a manufacturer who had a bad test lead, and everything that was coming off of their assembly line was actually failing when the customer received them. And so we got out a microscope, took a look at this, and it was interesting. Every single one of the ports on the device that they were manufacturing not only had contamination, they had the same pattern of contamination. So what do you think was going on there?
Well, it's basically you're transferring it over, right? And so it's going to end up ruining the interface of everything that you've plugged those test leads into. So it's
plugged one dirty test lead into this thing, and he's contaminating every single one of those ports with the same contamination.
Right.
So don't be that guy.
Yeah, and again, making sure you take care of your test leads, and it's going to help extend the life of your test gear, right? And that's very important, because if you have test gear that has to be out for servicing or that you damaged, hey, that's a big expense to you, especially if you're a smaller company and you only have so much gear. You have downtime, you've got repair time. That becomes a very expensive process, doesn't it?
Exactly. Take care of the stuff you own. And first, it may seem very simple with a test lead or whatever, but if you keep that clean, it'll keep your test equipment clein. It'll ensure that you're getting good results.
And really, what's the best way to do that? Inspect, clean, and inspect, right?
Inspect before you connect.
That's right.
All right, until next time, I'm Tyler.
And I'm Brian.